Hey everyone, it's Amy and welcome to the first ever edition of Test It Out Tuesday. Obviously, this video is being filmed really far in advance because it's gonna be a little while before I roll out Test It Out Tuesday, but I really want to test out this product today and I feel like it's something that you guys might be interested in, so we're filming it today. Today we're going to be trying out the all singing, the all dancing, the ultra famous Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Before we jump in, don't forget to go ahead and click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You know you want to. But for now, let's hurry up and get this foundation on my face because I need it. By no means is this a new or like not so talked about foundation. Everyone has been talking about this for the longest time and it is meant to be like the pinnacle of drugstore foundations. But it's new to us in the UK. At some point while I was gone in Bahrain, Boots started selling Wet n Wild products. And can we take a second for that, because that is just like hallelujah. If you're living in the UK and you've never tried Wet n Wild before, go out and try it because it is so affordable. It's like stinking cheap, but it's good quality. There are some products in there that are like ride or die must-haves, and I'm hoping that this is going to be one of them. So what we're gonna do is a first impressions. How does this foundation go onto my face? Does it give me coverage? I need a lot right now. I don't know if you can see this guy. It's a disaster. And then I'm gonna do a wear test throughout the day, and it's gonna be a pretty intense wear test because I'm getting ready right now, running a little bit late, as per always, to go out shopping for a full day, like intense day of shopping, and it's not looking so great outside. Like the weather is wet, it's windy. It's none of the things that you want from weather. So we're gonna see how this stands up against the Great British weather. It's an extreme challenge. So I'm going to pop this on top of my regular primer just so that it has a fair chance. I never put foundation on without primer because my skin is a hot mess. Sorry about this crazy lighting, by the way, but there is no light from the outside world, so we're just rolling with the artificial light today. Okay, I have mine in soft ivory, so let's see how that matches up with my freakishly pale skin. Ooh, I expected it to like have nothing in there, but it has a little plastic paddle thing. Okay, I'm gonna need a mirror. That would be helpful. One with less foundation fingerprints would be great, but we can roll with this. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be putting on my face. I'm just winging it. I'm gonna be blending it in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge purely because my foundation brush is filthy. Real life problems. Oh yes, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. And yes, I'm sold already. Do you see this coverage? Okay, so I've blended it in to one side of my face. And do you see that coverage? Do you see it? Like my freckles have gone. I didn't need to like build it up. It just with one fair swipe was like, hey, freckles be gone. And that's how I like to live my life. That has blended in so nicely. Oh, yes. Okay, let's see how it goes up against this giant spot on my face. The one thing about having this is like, if you have a lot of spots, like I can avoid this one, but I guess if you had a lot of acne, you'd be putting it on the spots and then dipping it back in, which is not super hygienic. Well, you can still see it for definite, but it is a big one, so it would take a miracle to cover this spot. How does this match my skin? In this crazy lighting, it's very difficult to tell, but I feel like it's a little bit pale even for me. But once I bronze, we'll be good. I'm not having to like work at it. You know, some foundations you really need to try hard to blend it out. Not with this one, my friend. Okay, so first impressions are, I am in love with this. The immediate coverage that I got just blew me away, because it required, like I said, it took no effort to blend out. It was just perfect first time. But I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup and like bronze myself to death. And I should look a little bit less like a corpse, more like a human. And then I will come back to you and we'll see how it all comes together. Okay, face is done. And I have a few more things to say about this foundation that I've noticed as I'm applying the rest of my face. This is a serious foundation. For me to put on that little and just blend it the first time and be like, whoosh, freckles gone. That is what I am looking for in a full coverage foundation. The second thing I will say is that it has really slightly sunk into my pores, but I have the biggest pores in life. Like, I'm surprised that houses and small children are not sinking into my pores, you know, like some kind of black hole situation. But this has done it really minimally. Like, I can, from a distance, you can't even tell. Like, when I hold my mirror close up, you can see it, but really it's only this tiny section right here, as opposed to usually it's the whole big triangle here. So that is really impressive to me, because usually I'm all pores. Is this real life right now? Is this my face? That's amazing. The rest of my makeup went on really well over the top of this. It set down really nicely. So the big thing that we are going to be asking is, how does this wear throughout the day? And like I said, we have a weather challenge, but we also have a major skin challenge, because as you guys know, I'm usually a crazy oily mess, and I do still have some oiliness going on my chin and around my nose, but I've been sick, which means my skin is also super dry. So it's really oily and really dry, which I know that doesn't sound like a real thing, but it is a struggle that I'm dealing with right now. So can this perform well throughout the day? Can it stand up against my oiliness and stay on my face without drying me out and making me look like withered, you know? I don't want to look withered. Nobody wants that. Okay, so I need to go take these curlers out, finish getting ready, and head out the door, because I'm late. Okay, what's new? And I'll see you guys later. So I am back from the world's longest and most intense day of shopping. But I survived to tell the story, and so did my face. I just took a really long, hard look at my foundation in the mirror, and I am super impressed with the way that it's held up. So as per every day of my life, I do have some oiliness coming through on my chin, but it's nothing too extreme. And while I do definitely have a little bit of redness peeking through, and it's starting to break up a little bit, it's nothing compared to most of the foundations that I usually use, because at this point I've had this foundation on for over 10 hours. With some foundations I actually have to go in with a tissue and like dab the oiliness away, and that's definitely not the case with this. Like, yes, I feel the oiliness starting to come through, but like nothing extreme. And I mean, we're 10 hours in, so that's really impressive. I also noticed that it is breaking up a little bit on my nose right here, but I have a cold, so I've been touching and rubbing my nose a lot today. So I think, considering that, this is looking pretty good. This is nothing to worry about. If my mum had said on the way home from shopping, hey, do you want to call into a restaurant and grab some food? Or do you want to like swing by the pub and get a drink? Or like some place where I had to be around people, I wouldn't feel like I'd have to come home and reapply makeup first. I feel like this really has gone all the way through from morning to night, and it's still completely acceptable. I'm so impressed with this makeup, you guys. $4.99. The coverage is amazing. It has sat so well on my skin. It feels so nice on my skin. Like, I don't feel bogged down or like weighed down with thick, heavy makeup. And it stayed put all day. Seriously, if you're into a full coverage foundation and you want it to last all day, because why wouldn't you, then this is a really good option, and it's so cheap. So thank you guys for joining me for my first ever Try It Out Tuesday. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please go ahead and give it a thumbs up to let me know. Let me know what kinds of products you'd like me to try out in future videos. Let me know if you've tried this one out and what you think of it. Don't forget to go and hit that subscribe button to become a member of our oddball family. And for those of you who are already subscribed, thank you guys so much. You are my oddballs, and I love you. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see y'all soon. Bye!